Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another relaxing ASMR Nintendo video from the BitBlock. It is Sunday evening and hopefully you guys are getting ready to unwind and hopefully this video will help you out. So this week I thought we would try something a little bit different, and as you can see, we are going to be looking at this Nintendo Summer 2005 catalog. I think it'll be kind of fun to look back on old games and see them in their early forms. And then just for fun, I grabbed this little Nintendo Land notebook. There's nothing to look at. It's just, it's an empty notebook. But I thought I would just show you guys that real quick because I will never have a reason to actually show that. Okay, it's gone. So, this catalog is from the GameCube, Game Boy, and I think it's in DS? Yeah, this was Game Boy, DS, and GameCube. Alright, let's start looking through it. We've got some very strange lighting on a guy who's playing the DS. So I guess we're going to start by looking at some Nintendo DS games. Oh, maybe not. This is just showing us the hardware. Alright, I've never seen people playing their Game Boy in a coffee shop. That's a little idealized on Nintendo's part. And what is with Nintendo always releasing the same exact colors in America with their handhelds? Silver, red, black, and blue. I think it's pretty boring. I really want a white Nintendo 3DS XL. Pretty bad, but I don't see it happening. Ah, yes, the GameCube. GameCube. The little slogan was actually pretty ASMR-y. Nothing beats the Indigo GameCube. That's the best one. The other ones are, you know, nowhere near as cool. Jet? They called the black GameCube Jet. Okay. I want to name my son Jet. No kid named Jet is ever considered a loser. Look at these poses. I just realized this. He does not seem interested at all. And of course, you know, we've got some sort of Pokemon card advertisement. Oh, Nintendo Power. We should subscribe to that. Alright, here we go. Nintendo DS. Ooh. Apparently we can play with the world. A very pixelated, gridded version of the world. These were Nintendo's first online games. Oh, yes. Oh. That's a little weird. It didn't have its name yet. It was called Animal Crossing DS. Okay. It's pretty cool. Oh, Animal Crossing. Then we got Mario Kart. That looks much worse than the 3DS game, and infinitely worse than Mario Kart 8. But I remember that game being pretty phenomenal. Oh, Nintendogs. Nintendogs before there were cats. This has like the silver ink on all these pages is like very shiny and fancy. Metroid Prime Hunters. You know, a lot of people don't like that game, but I think if you get past the fact that it wasn't supposed to be a traditional Metroid game, and that it really was it was supposed to be a multiplayer first-person shooter, it's actually pretty well designed. I think that game actually has voice chat, which is insane. Because we don't even have that nowadays. Not that I really want it. Advance Wars Dual Strike. I think that might be the first Advance Wars game on the DS. It might be the only one, too. I'm actually much more interested in Battalion Wars, which is the console version of the series. It's much more fun, in my opinion. It's got all the strategy, but it's got a lot more action. It's prettier, better characters. We must be getting into the games that are not as important, because they're not getting 2 pages. Got Trace Memory, Touch Golf. I'm very excited for Mario Golf World Tour on the 3DS coming up in May. Ooh, here's some good games. Electroplankton. That's a really unique game. I think that would work very well with the Wii U gamepad. Kirby Canvas Curse. It's another really awesome Kirby game. Man, I don't think there's a single bad Kirby game out there. Every Kirby game is pretty fantastic. Oh boy. Yuck. Shrek Super Slam. Everything Shrek does involves slamming. That looks so awful. Ultimate Spider-Man. We must be getting into the awful third-party licensed games. Ooh, Retro Atari. Wow. It's a pretty cool looking little dragon. Beautiful Joe DS. I don't know if that game ever came out. I don't remember Beautiful Joe on the DS. GoldenEye Rogue Agent. It seems kind of strange to have a first-person shooter on the DS. I don't know. I don't remember playing that. The Sims 2. Castlevania. Oh, Pac Pix. I remember Pac Pix as being like a cool idea, but I mean, was it just like you draw Pac-Man and that's it? I feel like Pac Pix could make a comeback for the Wii U gamepad as an eShop game, but I don't remember how complicated it got. Like, is it just supposed to be you're impressed by the fact that you're drawing Pac-Man and it's moving? I don't know. For some reason, I do like that game, though. There's Meteos. A lot of people talk pretty highly of Meteos, but I've never gotten a chance to play it myself. Need for Speed. Need for Speed Underground. Need for Speed Underground 2. Ugh. I think I threw up a little bit in my mouth just saying the title of that game. Texas Hold'em Poker. With the deadest man in the world. Look at his face. I thought maybe he would flinch and come to life and destroy me. Pokemon Dash. I remember Pokemon Dash as literally being what I might consider the worst Nintendo DS game I ever played. They won't make a new Pokemon Snap, but they made Pokemon Dash. Metroid Prime Pinball. I remember that game as being really cool. They had some fun with the Metroid series back in the day. Kind of did some spin-offs. Snowboard Kids DS. Don't get too excited though, because it is awful and they changed all the character designs to be stupid. They're not as cartoony. They're like lame anime characters. Texas Hold'em Poker Pack. Okay. Trauma Center Under the Knife. That's a good game. I like the Trauma Center games right up until they get really weird and you're dissecting aliens from a man's stomach. They get a little bit too crazy. Ooh, Frogger Helmet Chaos. Lost in Blue. Pack and Roll. I'm sorry. Where are my manners? Pack and Roll. That game was pretty cool. I mean, it was basically Monkey Ball, from what I remember. But you were rolling around Pac-Man's head. He didn't seem to mind though, so it was okay. Super Pac-Man Pinball. Alright, Pac-Man, that's enough. You're releasing 3 games in 1 year? Come on. Tak the Great Juju Challenge. It was apparently so great that we haven't heard from Tak since. Seriously, remember Tak? It's like a GameCube game. Tak is dead. He's dead with Crash Bandicoot and Spyro, and soon to be Sonic. A lot of card games on the Nintendo DS. Ooh, Bomberman DS. Phoenix Wright, Space Invaders Revolution, Top Gun, what? Based on the hit 1986 film Top Gun, this video game adaptation features heavily armed F-14, FIA-18, and F-16 aircraft. What a weird video game. Why would they do that? Maybe it was cool. It looks kind of cool. Mini RC Rally, Star Wars, Dragon Ball Z. Madagascar. Oh, those films are awful. Madden NFL 06. I'm sure that was great. Alright, here we go. Look at that guy. He's excited. Who leaves their GameCube on the floor like that, though? GameCubes should be put on a display in a glass case. This dude's doing it wrong. Oh, Donkey Konga. Donkey Konga. That was a pretty cool series. I don't know why. I just loved the idea of... I remember a couple of friends would come over and they were really good at Donkey Konga. But it was super annoying to be around people that were playing Donkey Konga because it was so noisy. The constant banging and clapping. If you weren't playing, you were some of the most annoyed people in the world. I think there's a third Donkey Konga, but we never got it. It was only in Japan. I mean, how many Usher and Blink-182 songs can you really listen to? I think Smash Mouth was in it as well. It's pretty garbagey music, but it had Donkey Kong, so we were okay with it. Oh yeah! Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix is a very strange game, because as I recall, they actually discontinued it pretty shortly after it launched, and I don't know why. But this game was not available for a very long time, from what I remember. And I actually imported it from Japan, and I played it a whole heck of a lot. It was just a very strange combination, but it was kind of cool. This was the summer that Mario Baseball came out. Oh, what good timing. So yeah, Mario Baseball and Mario DDR both launched in Japan. I think it was like June and July. And I was so incredibly excited for this game. Mario Baseball is my favorite Mario sports title. It's just really fun. You have so many Mario characters. It's got a great arcade gameplay feel. Yeah, it's pretty terrific. But this is like one of those games that Joshi was super excited to play. And it delivered big time. Look at Wario making a jumping catch. I don't remember this game. No, I'm just kidding. I totally remember Twilight Princess. This game is probably the most hyped up Zelda title ever, and I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I played it on the Wii though, so this is not a GameCube game to me. And we got some early screenshots over there. They look pretty darn good. But I bet that game looks like poop nowadays. Pokemon Gale of Darkness. Never played it. Geist. Oh man. So Geist was a pretty hyped up game. And honestly, I thought it was kind of fun. Like a lot of people remember it as being disappointing. But it was pretty unique. Like you played as a spirit and you would what's the word? Maybe it says it over here. Let's just read the description. In the hallways, labs, and chambers of a shadowy compound, an unseen power is lurking. You prepare for a first-person adventure with a spectral twist. Oh, you would possess. That's the word I was thinking of. So yeah, you would possess all sorts of people and objects, and it was pretty cool. I also remember it looking pretty good for the GameCube days. This was developed by a studio that is no longer around. I think it's N-Space. I don't believe they're around anymore. Honestly, I would kind of be okay with a sequel to Geist if it was handled by a new publisher, or I mean a new developer. It was a pretty cool concept. And then we got Super Mario Strikers, which was a pretty cool game. Not my favorite Mario sports title. Probably my second to least favorite Mario sports title. Least being Mario Tennis. I don't hate it. I just, not one of my favorites. There's Battalion Wars. Yeah. That game is spectacular. The Wii one is even better. And hopefully one day we'll get a Wii U one. Oh, Killer 7. I watched people play that game. Seemed pretty unique and crazy. Beautiful Joe. VFX Battle. What? Does that game even exist? It's like a multiplayer fighter? I don't know. I have a feeling that didn't even come out. Ah, 007. This was probably back in the day when we would get a new 007 game quite frequently. I like a lot of them. There's a lot of good James Bond 007 games. They're like, see, I don't really get into first-person shooters, but when they have a fun twist and maybe have a little bit of like a sense of humor and silliness to their multiplayer, I like them. But stuff like Call of Duty just makes me feel bad when I play it. I don't know. Harvest Moon. I actually watched my cousin play a lot of a Harvest Moon game. It could be that one. It was on the GameCube. There was like a little furry, hairy guy with like a beard and shaggy hair. I think he was like the bum of the farm. I don't know. SpongeBob SquarePants. Working title. That's a weird subtitle for the game. Then we got, oh man, oh wow. This game never launched until the Wii, until well into the Wii's life. But there it is in its early days. Looks like you played as some pretty weird characters. But some of the ideas made it to the final game, like stacking on top of each other. I don't believe you would ride on anything. Wow, that's pretty crazy. Now we're just getting into a bunch of games. Madagascar again, just in case we weren't terrified the first time. Digimon Sonic Gems Collection. Scooby-Doo Unmasked. Nicktoons Unite. Zatch Bell. I have no idea what Zatch Bell is, but it was on a demo disc for Mario Kart Double Dash. It was a fighting game, and I remember myself and friends would play it occasionally just because we were having fun with how stupid it was. So now we're getting into the Game Boy Advance stuff. Here is Mario Tennis Advance. I never actually played that game, so I really don't have anything to say about it. I played Mario Power Tennis, which I thought was pretty good. See, I don't like all the extra role-playing stuff in Mario sports games. It was also in Mario Golf, and I didn't really like that. I just thought it seemed weird. Donkey Kong Country 3. I remember not liking that game. I mean, it's called Donkey Kong Country, but you're not playing as Donkey Kong, and you're not even playing as Diddy anymore. Rare definitely had a bad habit of introducing way too many characters, and they were all really stupid. Like, beyond Dixie Kong, they could have just stopped. There's Fire Emblem. Oh man, I remember Yoshi Topsy-Turvy, and I remember it being so dreadful. This might be the only terrible Yoshi game, but it was pretty bad. It even looks really ugly, too. Look at that. Ugh. Look up some gameplay for Yoshi Topsy-Turvy if you've never seen it in motion. It's pretty bad. A whole bunch of Pokemon. Shrek Super Slam. He somehow found a way to infiltrate the DS and the Game Boy. Oh, look at this. Shrek is the scariest thing on our planet. Whoa, there's a giant cat in that Dragon Ball thing. Madagascar again? Jeez. Ooh, Disney's Magical Quest 3 starring Mickey and Donald. Say what? Wow, that was actually a Super Nintendo game in Japan. And then I guess we eventually got it on the Game Boy Advance. That's a really good game. Pac-Man Pinball Advance. Metal Slug. Metal Slug games are good. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. That movie was terrible. And then, I mean, you can tell these games are unimportant because they have next to no space. Gumby versus the Astrobots. Popeye Gumby. When was this made? 1974? Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Ugh. Oh, look at this sophisticate. The guy on the right thought that he was showing him some sort of math problem, and he's really disappointed that it's a video game. He's got a clipboard in his hand. Who would you rather be? This dude who is playing a Nintendo DS game, or this dude with the clipboard? don't know, the guy with the clipboard looks a little bit more mentally adjusted. Well, alright. I hope you guys have had fun checking out some of the games that are coming out in summer of 2005. I know I'm very excited. There were some pretty cool games there. I can't wait to play Twilight Princess and Mario DDR. Alright, guys. Well, until next Sunday evening, I will see you next time.